So go ahead and let's tell them what we're going to put in.
So we decided we would put in some sort of berries. And I did my research and what would grow here well and all that other kind of happy stuff. And we decided that our first phase of this project is going to be blackberries. I know the blackberries will grow in the area. They do not grow wild here. This is the only place in the United States I have ever lived that didn't either have wild berries or berries available from a U-pick farm. There are almost no U-pick farms in Arizona, and definitely not in northern Arizona. So it's just not part of the culture. A significant percentage of the people here don't eat fruits and vegetables, and then they wonder why they have health issues.
At least up here.
Yeah, up here. Well, this is the only part I care about because this is where I live. You know, I mean, we got a whole different planet. Some places where the educational level
wind's
is higher
coming up.
yes.
The wind's coming up if you haven't been able to tell.
Right. So anyway, we bought some blackberry plants from Johnny's Select Seeds. We have bought rootstock of various kinds from Johnny's before. Our asparagus, which by the way need to be harvested today, are coming up again. And has he got his bone outside? Yes, he does. Okay. I don't normally allow him to take his bone outside because I'm afraid he'll lose it.
I don't know how he got it out here. Well, I know he carried it.
He carried it out. The cat didn't. It's too heavy for her. So we decided we would pick up some rootstock from Johnny's because our rhubarb is from them, our asparagus is from them. So we've had really good luck with their stuff. And they're very conscientious about shipping it when you ask them to. So we have 10 blackberry plants. And these are plug plants. They're not bare root, so they have dirt on them, and they are ready to go. They have leaves. So we're going to be planting those today.
Let's get at it.
Yep. So I need to mark this bed out with my customary fancy high-tech stuff, probably, which is usually a rock. Double check that just to make sure. Rufus, you're helping too much. Sweetie, I'm going to step on your toes on purpose in a minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
What's the planting distance?
I'm right, it is wrong.
What's the planting distance?
3 feet.
Okay,
so this is only 2 feet, so it needs to move over 1 foot.
Yep.
And that's not 1 foot.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Next one goes at 8.
You're helping way too much.
11.
I know, I'm trying to spot 11 upside down.
Right there.
Oh, there. See, the curve is getting me. I'm getting the wrong side of the curve on that. All right.
And 14. How deep do we need to have the holes be?
The plug should be planted 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the surface.
Okay.
Boink. Okay. Our usual high-tech, fancy schmancy plant marker. Have to be imported special.
Okay, if you can open the bag and check to see the depth of the plug, what the total plug length is.
You have them wherever you put them.
They're over there in the shade. There's no root spread on them because they're plugs.
Pardon me?
There's no root spread on them because they're plugs.
No, they're just plugs. They are 2.5, 3 inch plugs.
Okay, I'll dig this a little deeper and you can put soil in as needed. Anything needs to be deeper, let me know. Oh, you have a trowel, okay.
Yeah. I think we will be putting the hoops on it.
Yep. We want to shade it, we want to protect it from the wind at least.
Yeah. Did you hear me talking with my buddy this weekend about the garden that she planted?
No.
Yeah, well, she planted a garden during COVID, of course. And she was talking about the fact that they're going to plant again this year. They decided they like it. It makes them cheerful to have something green in the backyard and all that other stuff. But they've had to do the, why are we growing this question?
Oh, yeah.
You know, oh, you don't eat tomatoes, why are you growing them? Oh, you could only eat a couple of peppers, why are you going to grow 25 plants? You know, it was really funny. And we talked about it extensively, that a lot of people are coming to that conclusion that they realize they've been overplanting. It's one thing if you have a big family, or if you have lots of friends you're going to give stuff to, or something like that. But if you're just a couple of people, because it's just the two of them, they don't have 27 kids either, and you know, they have to think objectively about what are they going to do with this stuff. And you don't want to sit it around and spoil. And some folks don't make tomato soup and tomato sauce and all that other stuff. So, you know, that's another consideration. Are you going to can? Are you going to freeze dry? Are you going to, you know, all that stuff. So.
Looks like Rufus has gone to sleep over there.
Oh, probably. After running at 150 miles an hour around the yard, he's probably tired. He says, I'm ready for my nap now that I've had my morning constitutional.
And he isn't sleeping with his bone now. It's over there behind him by about 4 feet.
Yeah, I can see it laying there on the grass. Silly dog. Now this is just the usual compost that we've been using for years. It's a mushroom compost. Doesn't have anything any weird in it. Does not have any additional fertilizers or manures or anything else. But we find it to be good mulch and a great way to increase the amount of organic materials in the bed. This bed in particular used to be quite bad because we purchased quote-unquote topsoil from a company who shall remain nameless, and it was crap. It was adobe bricks. We could have actually used it to make adobe if we'd wanted to.
It was probably 40 or 50% clay.
And in addition to that, we brought in a lovely selection of weeds that we had never had here before. Before we got that, we didn't have goat heads, we didn't have bindweed, and a couple of other things that are nasty. So sometimes when you buy topsoil, you get way more than you paid for, or maybe way less than you paid for in terms of quality. They did replace it for us, but the damage was done. And we had already used it to build several beds, so we have spent the last several years putting in a lot of compost, especially into this bed. And probably 50% of this is now compost.
We've probably spent the last 10 or 12 years doing that.
Because it took a while, it took a little while because the stuff was damp when we got it to realize how bad the soil was. Okay, let me get this last one mulched. And it'll be good enough for now.
Okay, let's step over here and close out.
Okay. Phase
here.
1.
Right here.
Phase 1.
Phase 1.
Yes. We're going to do the same thing in that bed that's right in front of the camera. And then, hopefully tomorrow, we'll be on to phase 2. This is... it's called Prime Arc Freedom Blackberry. Arc spelled like Ark from Noah.
Is this spineless? Thornless?
I think so. I didn't choose it for that reason though. I don't have a problem with spiny things. Obviously I live in Arizona. If I did, I wouldn't live here. But it was chosen because of disease resistance, tolerance of weather, and all that other stuff. It can tolerate huge amounts of heat plus huge amounts of cold. And we wanted that swing because we get that swing here. So the only thing that we do have to do with it is water. And we're actually going to be installing a new kind of drip irrigation line that we have not used before in this bed. The basic materials were gifted to us probably 5 or 6 years ago by somebody who had had it gifted to them and they didn't want to get involved in any of that kind of stuff. So I did the research to find out what it was because it's a different kind than we use. And we're going to be setting that up here.
We need an adapter to go on this riser over here that we do the irrigation with,
right,
to this new type of irrigation, and we need to make sure we have a plug for the end. But other than that, it should be pretty simple to set up.
Right, we have to decide if we're going to do a loop because you can do tight twists on this one. So we may do a loop. That would probably make sense. But the nice thing about this one, and we'll do a show just on that, is you don't have to worry about getting dirt on top of it. So we can actually choose to set it in the soil and then cover it with mulch, and we don't have to worry about that. The other kind of drip irrigation I use, it's the common stuff that you get from Home Depot and Lowe's and all those other places, should not be buried in the soil. It's not designed for that. And one of the problems with that is having it in the soil in something like this tends to protect it from rodents. You're less likely to have it cut or nibbled on by rodents. And that's one of the things we're trying for. Also, I believe that the stuff that they use in this is like repellent. It's not appealing to them.
Right.
So, because it's actually designed to be underground.
It's not a repellent in the sense of having chemicals in it specifically to cause rodents to leave it alone, but it's a side benefit of the kind of plastic they use.
Right, right. Apparently it doesn't taste as good or something like that. So, yeah, so be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because obviously...
we're going to get blown away.
Yeah, well, that too. But we're going to be doing lots more. We are probably going to wind up putting hoops on these today.
I'm going to put on the hoops while Irene's busy putting the plugs in that other bed because the wind has really
come up. And what the hoops will do in this case is simply protect them from windburn and give them a little shade, give them the opportunity to get themselves established. I'll be watering them later.
So we'll be putting the hoops up. We'll be putting some row cover over the top of the hoops.
Right.
And hope that takes care of all of those issues. We
Should.
have the irrigation. We should be able to start running this afternoon.
Yep.
So we won't have to keep hauling water from the cattle tank that's over
right.
there.
I'm trying to empty the cattle tank anyway because we have another project that we need to finish over there. That's another project that we can't finish while the cattle tank's in the way.
It is full.
And it's full. So.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Keep brainstorming. there's no storm clouds in the sky, but we're sure getting a windstorm going.
Right, you have to check the weather again.
This was supposed to come in tomorrow.
Oh well. It is what
I'm
it
going to
is.
start putting the hoops on.
Okay.